Hello, my name is Jack Yonezuka. I'm a judoka. I graduated from this high school and I've qualified for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. So. Starting judo, I started judo at the age of 5. My father was an Olympian and my grandfather was also an Olympic coach. So I was kind of born into the sport. I didn't really like judo when I started. I remember crying at a lot of, like the first day I started, I hit my head on the mat and I was crying, like, why did I get into this? But I never really did any competitions as a kid, but I entered one of my first competitions outside of my judo club. We used to have little inter-club tournaments, they call it. I entered my first one outside of my judo club and I got first place, and that's when I started to enjoy the sport. Early years, I wasn't the most talented kid. I suffered a lot of injuries when I was a kid. So at 11 years old, I broke my shoulder in a judo competition, and I was getting ready to go to a big national event that I thought I could do really well at as a kid. So it was very hard for me to kind of sit out and watch my teammates doing well at this national competition. 6 months later, I came back to judo, won a couple of more local tournament competitions, and then I was getting ready to go to another nationals the following summer and got injured again. So I had to watch my teammates do well again while I was just sitting out, just watching and doing nothing really. So these setbacks that I had early in my life kind of motivated me to be better in the future. So I did everything I could. I trained really hard, tried to get stronger and stronger every day, and eventually I won my first national medal at 13 years old, and it was a gold medal. So. So Olympic qualification. In order to qualify for the Olympic Games, you must be ranked top 17 on the Olympic ranking list. There can only be 2 people from the same country qualified in the same category, but only one can compete at the Games. So for example, in my category, there's 2 Japanese competitors and 2 Uzbek competitors that are both directly qualified. So only one of them can go, which is a difficult situation. But that's why the Olympic Games are special, right? I'm currently ranked 20 in the Olympic ranking list, but counting out these other judoka that are from the same country, I would be 16 on that list. So I'm directly qualified for the Olympics. Okay, some of the hard days that I went through during this 2-year period of the Olympic qualification. At the beginning, I went 0-6 at 6 events in a row. So every competition I went to, I lost first round basically. And it's not easy. I'm flying all over the world, to Portugal, to France, sometimes to crazy places like Tajikistan. I don't know if anyone's heard of that country, but all over the world. And then to lose first match is pretty disappointing. So it's hard to come back from these things, and I was able to come back and win a junior world medal after all of these losses. So that was a really good time in my judo career. Losing at the 2022 Junior World Team Trials, that was a pretty hard time because, I don't know, I expected myself medaling at that Junior World, which I wound up doing. That will be a different story for later. But it was hard to come back from that, and that moment really made me, I really reflected on that, and I was like, okay, I really need to, if my opponents are working this hard, I have to work this much harder to get better than them. Losing first fight at my first Senior World Championships, I looked at that as a really good opportunity for me, but once I lost in the first round, I was like, damn it, I flew all the way to Uzbekistan to lose first match, and then I saw how much all these other guys that were medal contenders were suffering to make weight, and all their focus was just on the gold medal. They didn't care about the experience, they just cared to win. So I was able to kind of take that in and mentally prepare myself for the next time. Losing by 3 penalties at the Paris Grand Slam in 2023, that was, I don't even want to talk about that one. And then losing my bronze medal contest 2 years ago at the Pan American Championships. No, 2 years in a row, my bad. Yeah, so I fought for the bronze medal at the past 2 Pan American Championships. This past time I went to the Pan American Championships with pneumonia, so I didn't train the entire time, I just flew, competed, and it went fairly well considering my physical shape, but not what I wanted, of course. Turning points in my judo career. In 2022, after these 6 losses I had at these 6 events in a row, I went to a Grand Prix, which is a high-level Olympic ranking event, and I won 2 matches. So that was a big step in my judo career. I was like, okay, I can beat some of the top guys in the world. Soon I'll be a medal contender, right? After that, like a month later, I won a bronze medal at the Junior World Championships. So as I mentioned before, I lost in the trials, but one of the athletes on the team was not able to compete. So I took his spot because he couldn't show up, so I was the next one in line. And this was with 3 days of notice, like before I was gonna compete. So that day I booked a flight, went straight to the airport, flew to Ecuador, made weight the next day, and then I fought and I won a bronze medal. So I pretty much, that day I shocked the world, and I was the first male in 30 years to win a junior world medal. So, for the United States, yeah. Next, 2023 Tunis African Open, I won a gold medal. This was after the Paris Grand Slam where I got 3 penalties. So I got 3 penalties. So in judo we get what's called shidos. These are penalties for maybe not attacking enough, or you're too defensive, or you walk out of the contest area because you don't want to engage in fighting, things like that. You get penalties for them, right? So I got 3 penalties in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like that's pretty crazy. So that was a really hard time for me, and I was like, okay, let's just take a step down and go to a lower level event. So a Continental Open is one of the lowest ranking like Olympic qualification events. So I went to one of those, and I'm like, until I win a gold medal there, I won't go back to the IJF World Tour. I need to win a gold medal here in order to go back. And sure enough, I won the gold, so that was nice. And then right after that tournament, I was like, okay, it's time to go back to the World Tour. And then I won 2 fights against some good players at the Antalya Grand Slam in Turkey. So after that, I was like, okay, like, there's no need to be too hard on myself. Like, I can do this. Like, I can beat these guys. So next. Okay, now time for the fun stuff. My biggest results that qualified me for the Olympics. Okay, so here's some of my major results. 2022 Junior World Championships, I won a bronze medal. I just explained that one. So that was pretty crazy. I kind of shocked the world that day, and no one really expected it. The following year, I was kind of a favorite to do well at the Junior World Championships, considering I was a medalist of last year, but in 2023 I won silver at the Junior World Championships. So, how do I say this? Before the draw, everything came out, like before the competition, I kept telling myself, like, this day is gonna happen. I'm gonna become Junior World Champion. Like, I fully believed it. And I feel this goes with anything in life. When you fully believe something, when you work 100% for something, you can achieve anything you want. So this is kind of what I did leading up into this Junior World Championships, and it nearly went as planned. Like, I can call myself Vice Junior World Champion now. Of course I wanted gold, but it was the best day of my judo career so far. So that was a really good result for me. About a month or 2 after, I went to Perth, Australia for an Oceania Open, which gave Grand Prix points, which is a lot of Olympic qualification points. So I flew all the way to Australia, 40 hours, right, to just fight at this competition because I needed Olympic ranking points, right? So I flew there, weighed in, I beat Hong Kong in my first fight. I lost to Great Britain. I beat Azerbaijan, and then I beat the same Polish guy that I got 3 penalties against in Paris earlier that year. I beat that guy for bronze. So it was good knowing that I'm improving and I'm getting better, yeah. And then 2024 Austria Grand Prix, this was in March, okay? A Grand Prix is like one of the more premier events of the judo calendar. So we have what's called the IJF World Tour, which is Grand Prix events, Grand Slam, World Championships, and that's basically it, right? So this was my first major medal on the senior circuit, which I was really happy about. And nonetheless, it was great points for my Olympic qualification also, right? So yeah. Okay, how does it feel to be an Olympian? It's a major relief because the International Judo Federation, they really packed in a lot of competitions, especially these last 6 months. It's just like competition after competition, and even though I kind of knew I was gonna qualify, it's still stressful. Like there's still more events, like you never know what can happen. Like maybe someone ranked 50 in the world can jump all the way up to 20 winning world championships or something, you never know. So it's been a stressful year. I'm relieved that it happened, but I expected to make it, and now I just want to go in, train my hardest, do whatever I can to get the gold medal, and if it doesn't go my way, well, then at least I know I did everything I could to do it, and just have a great experience. It's my first Olympic Games, so I really have nothing to lose, especially me being a 21-year-old American, and Americans aren't, I'm sure half of you don't know what judo is, right? Americans aren't that good at judo, so really, I just got to go in and shock the world, that's it. Yeah. My preparation for Paris, I'm just going to train my hardest, do some more specific, competition-specific drilling, just to be at my best, as sharp as possible. And then, like I said, just go in and shock the world. And then here's a little video of some highlights, just so you guys can get an idea of what judo is about. I don't know. Okay. That's basically it. I don't know if you guys have any questions or...
I see a couple questions here in the back.
Yeah, sorry, this light's kind of in my eyes, I can't really see.
I just wanted to know, do you pay for your trips? Who pays for them?
Okay, that's a good question. So the National Federation, USA Judo, will pay for about 3 to 4 events per year. but the rest comes out of my mom and my dad's pocket, right? So it's not easy. I also have a sponsor, the New York Athletic Club, which if USA Judo can't pay for it, then the New York Athletic Club will help reimburse. Especially if I do well at an event, maybe they'll pay for almost all of it. She would know better if you want to ask her, but. Yeah.
What's the difference between like wrestling and judo?
The main difference is this silly uniform we're wearing here. So it's, how I like to describe it sometimes is you're wrestling in pajamas. So basically you're using the gi as a way to throw your opponent. And you can use it in many different ways. Like if I hold your sleeve in a certain way, I can like immobilize all of your motion in your arm. It's crazy. Like judo is a very physical sport and it's very hard. And until you do it, it's kind of, you don't realize how hard it actually is. So, yeah. Yeah.
Do you get paid for winning?
Yes, we do get prize money for winning medals, and I do get paid by USA Judo Monthly for being top 20 in the world, so yeah.
Jack,
Yeah.
we want to wish you got this, Jack.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thank you.
finish up